What is the word I couldn't say?
Ambiguity is the word you were stumbling with.
How are you saying it?
Ambiguity.
I'm trying to use it in a sentence so casually. Ambiguity? Ambiguity. I still to this moment can't. How do you say it? What does that word mean?
It sounds so weird the way you're saying it.
I was using it in a sentence like it was a real word. Monitoring myself. This is like
We need someone else on staff.
A queen should not have to.
It's true.
Do this alone. That's all I'm saying. And I'm also sick of lint rolling myself. Like I told
I'm not
you,
even bothering.
Where's my manservant?
I'm fuzzing it up, and I don't care.
Okay. Got high waters happening.
Oh, I love your socks.
Thank you.
Those are nice.
Here we are again.
Just gonna relax into this episode.
Yeah.
Maybe not, because it's so exciting.
It's
Happy 1 year,
It's
Christy.
our anniversary. It's our anniversary. I feel a little bit more like, we did it. And we made it.
It feels like a 50th anniversary.
I feel like I should have a shot of me on the floor, just like mostly dead.
Laying on the couch.
Blood
here.
coming out of my ear.
Bruises.
A lot of crying happening.
But we did it.
We did it.
1 year.
1 year.
Look at us. What's that Paul read? We're going to read.
Paul Rudd.
Do you remember his, what was it, is it Hot Wings? Is that the name of it? Where he's like, look at us.
Oh, yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us.
That's us.
That's us.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? No, for real. Who would have thought? I don't know if I would have thought. I think when we started this, I was kind of like, I wanted to believe we would make it this far and was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to happen. And I worried that everyone in the background was like, they're never going to keep this going. This is a bit of a pipe dream. And
Bill was like, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Let them have their fun.
Yeah. There was
Get it out of their system.
There was a piece of me that felt like that too. And I was just like, I am stubborn to like my own detriment, and was like,
Same.
No matter what happens, no matter if the closest person to me on earth dies, I'm not going to let this podcast die. And here we are, fam.
You lived it.
While you were like,
Right.
even if I die,
Even if they have to take out parts of my body, I'm going to be there.
so haters, if you're watching.
We went through surgery and a major death to
And
bring
we're-
this to you. So
You better appreciate it.
I love that we can laugh about it.
I know. Now.
It's kind of, I don't know, speaks to our mental state
Yeah.
in a slightly worrisome way. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
It has brought this new version of the podcast back in a lot more fun way.
Yeah, I feel like we're both a little bit more unhinged than we were before.
Yes.
Which didn't seem possible.
People keep telling me that.
I really didn't think that was possible. I felt like we had catapulted past that line, but apparently there were more depths to be mined.
Here we are. We can get crazier.
Apparently, yeah. So we take things even less seriously now.
We pushed Bill across the world with our craziness.
He fled the country just to get away from this combination.
He's like, I'm going to leave you guys here to do whatever you got to do, and I'm going to take off across the world for 2 months.
This is the longest he's stayed out of the country and like away from the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel a little bit proud about that.
Yeah.
Like
He can't.
we do take
He
some
literally
of that
has no
credit.
logins to the podcast, so we could literally do whatever we want.
And will.
And will. And are.
And Tim's upstairs just like scared for his life
Scared
right
for his
now.
life. Scared for his life. And just like those women that I work with.
They're both crazier now.
We'll do whatever we want.
And with our powers combined. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've talked a lot about how we need to get back to part of our roots, but the roots being laughing more. Things have been serious for
Out
too
of
long.
necessity. Like we cannot I feel like both of us coming back to this just out of necessity, we cannot take it as seriously as we did before because we both were in situations where it was just so serious and life was just so heavy and serious.
Yeah.
And it puts it into perspective. We're like, this is our little podcast. Like, this should not be the stress drama that it has been.
Yeah.
You know, we should be enjoying it. Otherwise, why are we doing it?
Right. Otherwise, why are we doing it?
Nobody else is going to enjoy it if we're just like, God, we have to do another episode and this is taking so much out of me. It's like, no. So we're definitely, I think, more relaxed and just more like, here it is.
Yeah. Like, let's
Love it or leave it.
Yeah. Like, let's get dressed up again. Let's remember what makeup is. And
More of our personalities coming out, as well as like, here's how our agency works. Here are some things about our agency and about how we work with each other. So we have shifted a little bit. We still do get Bill on here once in a while, like to go heavy on the tech speak and, you know.
And people just love seeing him anyway.
He's a natural storyteller.
Yeah.
Like that's part of what we love about working with him too. Is like, you know, lunchtime, we always get a story about Bill's past or remember this time, picture it.
You'd think he's 100 years old.
I was painting this house on the Hasidic Jewish
He's
compound.
lived
And you're like,
50
whoa.
lives.
Yeah. What are you going to talk about? Is this going to be appropriate or like you just never know?
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it appropriate mostly. Maybe. But it's definitely going to be more. I feel like since our relaunch, we just, and looking at all the analytics that we had from the first year, it really informed us about, okay, what are the topics and conversations that people are really dialing into and like are really interested in and have been responding to. And overwhelmingly, it's been episodes more about our company culture or ones where we've like let loose our silly side and our personalities more. And it's like, okay, you don't we did not need much encouragement to lean into that, but it was nice being able to go to Bill and be like, look at the numbers. Like we get to be silly now.
Yeah.
But still not, you know.
Well, and we talked about it. We're kind of like, I mean, going into this, like we had certain expectations and beliefs about what would work, what people would want, who our audience would be. And again, we were literally just going in based on those beliefs. I mean, there was some level of research behind it and making it ourselves, but it was just a lot of like, let us just kind of dive in and see what happens. But now that we've had literally a year's worth of experience, we're kind of like, thinking about podcasting more. It's like, what would make somebody want to listen to a podcast? And it's like, well, even if we're talking about marketing stuff, people don't want to just like listen to it like it's NPR.
Right.
Or we
are not NPR.
We don't
operate like NPR.
We don't want to be
Right.
NPR.
Right.
And we could never be. It's not us. And so it's like, we really have to kind of, in the beginning, I think we definitely were way more like, oh, we can't say that. Oh, that's going to offend somebody. Oh, maybe that's like not factual. And maybe we have to be careful about how we word that. And so it was like this first, like
we were over editing ourselves.
Editing. And I'm just like, we got to the point where we're like, let's just stop editing.
And just
like,
be who we are as an agency. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think like that's why our clients work with us. That's why they stay with us because of who we actually are and not us trying to be anybody else.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did kind of lose sight of who we were a little bit because we were trying to be like, trying to, I keep hitting the mic stand.
It's okay. I understand.
Okay.
We are both gesturers, and
I
I'm surprised
know.
Bill doesn't hand it more, honestly. Just
God.
keep your hands down.
Okay.
Or just one hand over here. Gesture this way.
I'm going to leave it like this.
How
Yeah.
does Bill even bring his hand into my camera when I'm over there?
Go gadget arm. Wow, I totally just dated myself.
Or his
But yeah.
foot. Like his foot's
I
always
know,
somehow
I don't
coming
know.
in.
He's
Crazy.
Gumby.
I guess. I'm little, but I'm not that little. His whole body comes into my camera when I'm over there.
I forgot what I was talking
I'm
about.
so sorry.
No, it's okay.
We got thrown
It's
here.
okay.
But
We were just talking about the shift that we made.
yeah, so
And not. Oh, okay. I didn't remember what I was saying. It was like we tried to mirror, I think, who we saw as like successful
yes.
in podcasting. So we were like, oh, that works for them. Let's try that to try to mirror their success. Because we had no reference for this. We've never done it before. We don't know, we didn't really know what we wanted to do, and we were still figuring out our audience and stuff like that. And so we were like, well, let's try this. And let's be
Yeah.
a little bit stuffier than how there'd be like little glimpses of personality and how much fun that we have working here. But overall, it was very buttoned up,
Well, and I think
which wasn't sustainable.
no,
I don't think.
No, I think too, like some of the podcasts that for one thing, I wasn't a big podcast listener to begin with. And I think that was my kind of first mistake. I don't know why I thought that would be fine. I mean, not that I'd never listened to a podcast or like I was completely unfamiliar, but I was not
Dedicated
I was
or
not a
anything.
dedicated
Yeah.
podcast listener, and therefore I feel like that set me off on the wrong foot because I was like, oh, I'll just dive into listening to this one. And with marketing podcasts, I'm like, I don't like these. And I would never
know.
listen to them.
I wouldn't sign up for this.
I would never
Yeah.
listen to this, like lovingly, I would never listen to this crap. And so
Yeah.
therefore trying to duplicate something that I myself would never want to listen to, and I work in marketing.
Right.
Who am I
Right.
trying to draw for an audience?
Right.
And that's confusing. And
Yeah.
like, I know I still want to do this, and I know that there is still an audience for this, but like, who is it? Because it's not even myself. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And that's confusing. And so I think when the big kind of like big aha moment came for me is that when I was on my bereavement leave and shortly before, one of the things that happened is when I found out my dad was going to die and had 8 weeks left to live, something in my brain clicked where I couldn't listen to music anymore. I don't know. I mean, I kind of know why, but I don't really know why. I could not listen to music at all anymore. And music is always what I listen to in my car. And so I discovered a podcast on TikTok. It's called Financial Audit. If you've heard of it, it's really fun. And I looked it up and I just got super addicted to it. And it's very like low stakes emotionally because it's just about, people messing up their finances and him yelling at them. And every episode it's nothing like a crime related or like people are dying or like
Yeah, nothing heavy.
Children being abused or like it's just like, wow, you're being a really big idiot with your money. In the process, I would occasionally have takeaways of like, I'm being an idiot with my money too. I need to cancel that credit card, whatever. And so I would just start listening to that in my car everywhere I went. I had almost an hour drive to my parents every day going to see my dad. So I was listening to it every day, multiple times a day. I was like binging this podcast and watching the YouTube videos too. And I started learning a lot, like really analyzing like, why does this, it's one of the most popular podcasts on YouTube. And for a reason, because they're super just unedited in the sense that anytime someone does whack the mic, they don't edit it out. It's just kind of like why would you? This is us just talking.
Yeah.
And it keeps it way more real and less scripted, and like we've created like a scripted podcast movie for you. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes because we're fake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why it's likable,
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm there and I know these people.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to replicate.
Yeah.
Just as one piece of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's what we're missing.
Yeah.
That's what we're missing.
We just needed to bring it back to real,
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
And we did kind of finally, another aha moment we had was figuring out who our ideal audience really was.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, it's Bill.
Yeah.
It's people like Bill
Yeah.
who are, full of humor. They have technical knowledge, but also unconventional, are funny, love humor, don't mind being silly, but have the knowledge and the skills and the
Yep.
know-how, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And we're like, that sums up exactly like how we are as an agency and
Right.
also who we're speaking to. Like
Right.
that's who we're trying to reach. We're not
Yep.
coming at you as like, we're going to school you now.
Right. Right.
Listen up.
Right. We know everything.
Here are some dry facts.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do to get ahead. It's like,
Yeah.
we're going to help you get ahead, but we're going to be having fun while we do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we come at it just like from a totally different angle. So,
Especially since marketing in general touches the lives of almost everyone in the sense that whatever career you're in, whatever you're doing, marketing is in everything. It's
Everything.
in when you are at the grocery store,
Yeah.
it is in psychology. And so the different things that we talk about here, it can apply to an audience that is so much wider than, are you a person that works in the marketing field? Or our clients are a lot of insurance based clients
or banking. Yeah.
and like we're not just talking to you, we're limiting ourselves by being like that's who we have to be speaking to. It's not like that. Like this is so much broader than that, and we're limiting ourselves by thinking we just have to. We do have a lot of clients that listen. We love you,
Right.
but this can extend way beyond that.
Yeah, and I think one of the insights that we gained too from this past year was in talking to our friends and family, and a lot of them were like, "No, I don't listen
Yeah,
because I'm not in insurance."
I don't.
Why
I'm
would
not,
I listen?
why would
wouldn't
I
be
listen to
interested in that.
marketing? Why would I listen to a marketing podcast? I don't care about marketing.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't either.
And you're like, "Yeah, good point.
Good point.
I shouldn't expect you just to support us in this venture." Like, and while we do talk a lot about marketing, like you were saying, there's just a lot of aspects to it that touch on stuff that everybody does in their daily life. And even just like some of the insights that we talk about can be implemented into any kind of business or work
Or day to
environment
day,
too.
even. Like we
Day to
just
day,
did that
right.
episode on communication.
Right.
That translates into your relationships, into
Yeah.
your family. Like that's broad in itself. Like how important that is. Like so it
Principles behind a lot of what we
principles
talked
behind
about
a lot
can
of
go
that.
far.
We know everything.
Basically, we're a life coach.
We are life coaches. We're rebranding as
As a
a life
life
coach podcast.
We'll send you a shirt,
Yeah.
a planner,
Yeah. Set up
And
an
a water
appointment with
bottle.
us and we'll fix your life and your finances. We're coming for you, Caleb. No, yeah. We've learned a lot and we're not too prideful to say that. Like,
It was a big learning experience, and we're still going to learn. I mean,
Yeah.
we're still babies at this.
and I
It's
did know,
only
I knew that
been a
from the
year.
beginning.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate posting a
had
couple
no-
and blowing up into millions.
Right.
I never, even for a moment, thought that would happen.
No
I don't think
delusions
I
of
was ready for
grandeur.
that to happen.
No,
This has been a lot of work for this tiny little team as it is anyway. And so I was not prepared to monitor the comments of a million people anyway. So
Right.
like, it's fine that it hasn't
Can you
gone.
imagine?
No. I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared of people trolling me on the internet. A little bit.
Part of you craves it.
I'm a little bit excited for it, but I'm a little bit scared of it. So I'm sensitive, okay? But we'll get to that point when we did already have a first troll on TikTok, so like
that was exciting.
That was exciting, and we got past it, and they were trolling Bill, not me, so it was fine. But
that would happen.
That would happen. But yeah, so yeah, we wanted to talk a little bit about like we're going to aim this toward other people that want to know about podcasting, and if you want to podcast and things that I've learned and wouldn't do if I had to do this over.
Yeah, because like a lot of podcasts, it is a big production. They have like a big production team. We started, it was just the two of us. And then you kept it going by yourself when I was on medical leave. And so just that it's possible that you can start without like a 15-person department dedicated solely to podcasting is kind of cool, because a lot of people probably feel like, what business do I have starting a podcast? I don't have like this whole production. Yeah. Especially if they're in a business setting. Like there are plenty of people that, you know, are set up, it's just them.
Right.
You know, in a corner of their home and they're doing a true crime or something.
Right.
So, but as a business, like when you first went to Bill to like kind of see how he felt about this idea of doing it, you weren't like, and I need to hire 5 people minimum.
Right. I knew that wasn't
this,
happening.
This, and this.
Yeah.
It's like you were extremely resourceful in starting it. So,
in fact, I asked for so little money.
Yeah.
I knew if it was going to happen, I'm like, he's not funding this.
Yeah.
Like, not initially. Like, I had to pick, I mean, he probably would have, but I was just kind of like, I'm not asking for much up front.
Right.
Just to get this idea off the ground. I mean, we have a whole studio here anyway.
You didn't honestly need that much to kind of venture into
but even
in that
just
direction.
Like, even just for, I was fortunate in that we already have a studio and cameras. I already have video editing software and I have 2 desks with 2 computers.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled.
You're spread across
this whole office. Everything belongs, and this whole kingdom is mine. But so like I was already pretty set up as it was, but when it comes to things like hosting services, and I wanted new mics and like just little things like I dipped my toes in, so but yeah, so I think that like if I had to do it over again, I think I would, number one, I wish that we had our niche and audience and topic a little bit more
ironed out,
defined and ironed out.
Agree.
I wish that I had studied and listened to more podcasts and watched them, especially on YouTube. If you're going to video podcast, I wish I had watched them more so that I could have learned from what other people are doing successfully. But besides that, I feel like because I was podcasting with Thaddeus before I started with us, I had like a little bit of like, he taught me like how to join Buzzsprout as a hosting service. And so getting set up through them is like really pretty easy. I mean, it costs money every month to host, but you just get everything in there and they really do the rest for you, scheduling episodes out. It is more time consuming than I thought it would be.
That's a really good point.
I guess that is something that is important to know. It is not as simple as
getting in front of a mic and having fun talking.
Yeah. There's more steps to it than you think because it's not just recording and posting. It's like there's so many tiny little steps in the process, like creating chapter markers, like putting a transcription in, like creating cover art, not just for YouTube, but for like the shorts and for TikTok and for Instagram, and the social copy for every different platform and for the description of the episode and the show notes. And like, there's so many different bits that all of that takes time and thought and double checking
Yeah.
and scheduling, and it's just a lot. It is a lot.
And that's why a lot of businesses have a whole department of
Yes,
people working on a
yes.
podcast because
Yeah.
of all those details. Like
Yeah.
there's the front end, which is, you know, you've got your hosts and and the mics and the conversation, but on the back end, there's just so many details. And like, I didn't realize how much until I started seeing you handle all of that. And like, we've expanded our team since last year because we recognize and we're like, whoa, we need help.
Yeah.
Because this part of it takes up a lot of time too. And just the scheduling and coming in. So we're like, we definitely need to have some more support to be able to do this moving forward. So you do need some support unless you're dedicated to doing all the pieces and realizing that's going to be a full-time job in itself.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing that you did it.
Yeah.
You know, when you stop and think about all those pieces and that this was not your full-time job, you were also working on other client projects. Like this was aside from your usual work, making videos, doing Matter reports,
social media, Matterporting and droning and everything else I'm
traveling
doing.
on location for things. And it's just like, how? And your father, with his situation and him dying, you know, while you're...
I'm also chronically ill.
Right. Like, I don't know how you did it. It was like inhuman.
Yeah.
Just
I was
superhuman,
determined.
not inhuman, superhuman.
Yeah, no. And both, actually.
Yeah.
I was just determined. Like, I was so determined to make it work. And this is important. I recognized that it was super crucial to be consistent, both like making sure an episode got out every week and on time, on schedule, because I knew if I was going to keep any kind of audience, that audience was only going to come back if they knew Tuesday mornings, 5 a.m., that's new episodes on whatever platform I rely on it. It's got to be there.
And you did research there too. Just a little side note, like determining when to drop a new episode. Like, when are you going to schedule this? Like, that required thought and research too. Like, every single part of this required you to research something.
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, just the time-consuming aspect of it, I think people might not really get. It's like, oh, you're just sitting in front of a mic and talking and shooting a video.
Throwing it online. And I'll tell you, it helped that, I mean, I've been doing video editing for years and years and years now. So I had that advantage too, that it's I can whip out editing a video pretty fast now. And so I had that advantage too. But for someone coming into this that doesn't know video editing software or how to edit a video or how to listen real quick, and I don't mean to talk down to anyone that already knows, there's multiple cameras and multiple audio streams going, which means I have to overlay them all, which means I have to time them all evenly, and then multiple things are getting spliced this whole episode. So there's like a lot moving in in the timeline, in addition to any kind of color grading, audio, sound
adjustments,
editing, like in addition to intros, outros, like all of it. But because I have had years of doing that, and I'm not saying that my video editing's perfect, it's not. And I always will have work to do, and I will always have criticism for my work.
And you're someone who's constantly learning, and looking to improve.
But because I've had years of knowing how to do that, I can whip out it pretty fast. And yet, it still takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And a lot of computer space, every SD card, every one of these SD cards every episode is 100 gigs.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It's
And
crazy.
so my that's why I have two computers. The storage on my computers are like, we're
It's
dying.
insane.
Please,
Yeah.
please
We've had to
stop.
upgrade your storage several times in
Please
the past
stop.
year.
I have 6 external drives. Yeah, my computer's like, I'm gonna kill myself like if you don't stop. So it's so much organization. It's so much shuffling, and keeping track of things carefully. Like,
I feel like you have to have a distinct personality to be able to do this as a one.
I'm as type A as it gets,
Yeah.
babe. Like, and if you're not, and if you're just
I
throwing
can't keep
SD,
up with you. I'm more just the
every
Yeah.
file has to go in a very specific place,
Mm-hmm.
or your episode's lost. It's just true. And then the other thing is learning how to use YouTube properly. That has,
That's a good
I'm
point.
still beating my head against a wall with that one, because it's so. It's like you have to learn all of the tolls rules to get through, and it's like if weird things from like, and you have to name your audio file with proper SEO words before you even upload it, because that matters. You have to name your cover art file on your own, like on your computer properly before you upload it. I would have never thought that mattered.
Right. That one little detail. Yeah.
Everything on the back end, which, that seems reasonable, like keywording in the back end, fine.
Yeah.
But then like hooking up the subscribe at the end, like at the end of the video, like there's just so many details that you have to learn how to do, and it takes time, and it's just lots and lots of steps. And so again, if I was starting over, I would take any kind of, and you can learn this all on YouTube. I would learn all of that in advance, familiarize yourself, don't get overwhelmed. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. I have an 8 times concussion brain. If I can learn it, you can learn it. I learn really slowly.
But once it's there, it's there. Like
It's
you
there.
also, and I think your tremendous experience, like you were saying too, like you have several things that set you up for being able to take this on. Because I think if someone's completely green when it comes to, I've never done any software, worked with any editing software, and I don't know my computer that well.
Yeah.
This might not be your thing.
No. No,
So
no.
I feel like
No.
if you're already kind of in that zone and you already are doing video editing and you're already like doing some kind of media work, I think it lends itself. It's kind of like a natural progression.
Yeah.
Like it was for you.
Yeah.
This was very much a natural progression
Yeah.
for you. That's what it felt like,
Yep.
even though it was so much work and still is.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a very natural thing.
Yeah. And I think my biggest piece of advice because of that is don't be afraid to experiment. We had times where we got very stuck or I get stuck with myself because I want everything to be uniform, where I would be like, but I've already started making videos with this specific intro, so they all must be now. And I'm like, stop, Christy. It's permanent life lesson I've tried to burn into my brain is it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
And no one cares. Like, this is your project. Like, if you don't use the same intro and start a new one, great. Maybe
one's
this one
gonna
will
scream at
perform
you.
better.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, just keep experimenting. Maybe this new audio file will do better. Maybe this new intro, outro will do better. And since we have done that, like this coming back, we have really started over with new experimentation. It's done a lot better.
Yeah.
And so don't be afraid to do that.
Don't be afraid to change things up and shift gears. Like you realize something's not working, change it.
Yeah. And one of the things that we didn't expect we're going to kind of unfortunately and fortunately be doing less of is probably having less outside interviews coming in and probably be focusing more on us.
Yeah, talk about the why of that too.
I think, and I think
Some
just
good insights from that.
the biggest reason, honestly, is like I so enjoyed all the all the guests that I interviewed last year. I think
They were great.
I learned so much from every person that I interviewed, and I really enjoyed them all. Like it's every person like flips into my head that I'm just like, man, all those people were so interesting and had so much to teach us. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I spent so much time, mostly on LinkedIn, partially on Instagram, finding people and interacting with people and like trying to outreach to people and trying to decide, is this person real? Are they someone that like fits in with like what we're doing? Do they have a real story to tell? Are they educated? Like, do they know what they're talking about?
Will they
like
be
just
comfortable on a podcast too?
filtering through, does this person work for the podcast? And then if the answer to that is all yes, getting them to commit, scheduling them,
Scheduling can be a nightmare.
recording with them. And recording on Riverside was just like kind of like, man, like the quality of it, like people didn't love those episodes because of the in-person, like there was research behind in-person working better. And then they just weren't performing as well. And that's to no fault of the guests. It was just kind of like that was becoming way too time consuming.
Right.
And it wasn't performing better anyway.
Right.
So we kind of were just like, you know what, with this new shift of like focusing on us and our stories, we're just going to focus more on that. And I don't think that that's to permanently say we're never having a guest on again.
Right, because we will.
We will. It's just that's not going to be our focus as much anymore.
But
it didn't turn out like we thought.
Yeah, and we're just making it more personal. And I think that has incredible merit on its own. Like it makes sense. That kind of was a natural progression too, because we've talked about it in several podcasts before, how people have been like, what do you do for work? And what are you guys working on? And so talking about that more, but showing more the personalities behind the work. And this is what clients get when you work with us. You get our skills and our knowledge, but also our personality. And I think you can't tell that from looking at someone's About Us webpage.
Yes.
You know, where everybody has, you know, we've got professional black and white photos up of each one of us, and you're just this static, stern-looking executive.
Yeah.
You know, and so we really saw this when we decided to relaunch as an opportunity to be like, this is the personality behind that. And now we're like, maybe we need to redo those pictures because it'll feel like a bait and switch almost. You know, like we're not as buttoned up as our web page makes us seem.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
Like, this is why people like to work with us. This is why they stay working with us. We make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
And we enjoy working with each other.
Right.
I think that just trickles down into our client relationships too.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, our team absolutely loves working with each other.
Yeah.
And interacting and just collaborating and working, like sinking our teeth into a project and enjoying the success of it together. Or sometimes when they fall flat, then we're all like in it together to like, how do we fix this? And
I told Bill,
it's
like,
great.
when I gave him last year's like analytical report, I told him, like, thinking about moving forward, I'm like, I want next year's podcast, like season 2, to feel more like if you were just kind of coming down the stairs and walking in on us, like what that would feel like for real. Like what would
What are
we
we
be
talking about?
What would we be talking about? What would we be working on? What would be happening? That's what I want the cameras to kind of feel like you're in on. If the cameras were off right now and you and I were just sitting here having a conversation, maybe a little filtered from our personal lives.
They can't walk in on that, maybe.
But like in general, like what would that feel like if you were just here in person with us?
Yeah.
And you were sitting on this end of the couch, like what would it feel like if you were here with us? Because this is truly what it's like to be here. And if you are one of our clients that has been here to visit us, I'm sure that is what you would say. Like, this is very much just who we are. And I think we put such a high importance on that because it's important to us to feel that in return.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, we want our clients to be real with us too.
Right.
And we enjoy working with the ones that are very real, and it's not corporate speak.
It
And
creates
it's not,
trust.
Yeah.
It
it's
creates
just like,
trust.
well, let's be real. This is what you need. This is
Yep.
what we're going to do for you.
Yep.
Let's work on this together.
Yep. Yep.
It's not, let's circle back.
Right.
And
I don't work well in any
work on our
relationship.
synergy.
Yeah, I don't work. No, I don't work well in any relationship in my life where I feel like people are
Right.
putting on any kind of like pretentious front. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're hiding something. This isn't who you are.
Yeah.
And it's harder for me to be here, trust you, work with you, have a relationship with you. And so I don't want our clients to feel that way.
And I think across the board, like the relationship part is the easiest part for us because we are very real with our clients, and our clients, we do get that back from them. And so for us, and I feel it's as it should be, the challenging aspect is how are we going to produce what they need? And it's a creative challenge.
Yeah.
It's not a personality challenge.
Right.
I don't know if I'm explaining that right.
No,
but
I hear you.
You get what I mean? It's the challenge is not, I cannot get this client to be real with me, and like I feel like we're just not breaking through with them, and it's just an awkward, weird relationship. It's like
Those ones don't last.
they don't. We either fire them or they fire us.
Yeah.
Like, but it doesn't happen often
No.
because we are very unintentionally intentional.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
happens that we're
Yeah.
like, we can't put, I don't know anybody here who can put on that front and just be like, we're just buttoned up and
Yeah.
all business.
Yeah,
Like,
there might be some that are more shy than others, but
right.
like
But everybody
that's
is
also
like,
genuine to who they are.
Exactly. And I think we're an agency full of genuine people.
Yeah.
And that leads to us naturally aligning with clients who are equally as genuine. And then what comes from that is what makes it exciting to do the work.
Yeah.
So this is all a shift to us being more genuine on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
We're very excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
I'm excited to see what it does.
It's already more fun. It's already more enjoyable to do.
Honestly, it's all that matters to me.
Really. There's so much going on in the world.
Yeah.
That's just hard and heavy. And so it's like, this is not going to be one of them.
Yeah.
One of the things
For
that
real.
is like that.
Yeah.
It needs to be
I've gone back
enjoyable.
to really enjoying editing episodes that
Yeah.
are like this and fun. I don't know why. It is more fun for me
Yeah.
to edit and get excited to post and to know a fun episode is going to premiere.
Going to drop soon.
Yeah,
And it's exciting.
than like a what I perceive as a boring one.
Right.
It just is, and I feel better. Like I'm giving all of them, like
Something real.
something real, something good. Like I'm not just like this week they're gonna be disappointed with this one. They're gonna shut this one off.
30 seconds in max.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they still might with our fun ones. We're not for we recognize this is not for everybody.
My whole life,
You know
my
what?
mom told me you're not for everybody.
No one's going to like you like that. But you do you, honey.
I've heard it my whole life.
Yup. Samesies.
I want to say just kidding, Mom, but she would never listen to this. Actually, I had a conversation with her last week, I think. Like,
Really? What'd she say?
She was talking about listening to her podcast on the way home, and I'm like, you listen to podcasts? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you listen to my podcast? And she literally was like, you have a podcast?
Oh,
I was like,
Barbara.
Mother, are you being serious?
Was she serious?
I think she was.
Get out. She does not get Mother of the Year.
She's very faithful on
Mother's
Facebook.
Day is
But that's
canceled.
The problem. That's the problem. She's very faithful on Facebook. She
That's true.
She likes everything. But this is another thing. Okay, going back to what I wouldn't do the podcast. Podcasting. Okay, posting things on social media to promote the podcast. I learned that Facebook is like not one of those places.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. I don't really know why, but like science has proven Facebook isn't one of those places. However,
Can't argue with science.
I
Yeah.
did find that Facebook groups for podcasters are a good place. So I joined.
Oh, nice.
I joined a group for podcasters on Facebook. Which just kind of like once a week, everyone's like, promote your episode this week, and everybody go like each other's episodes. So I try to,
cool.
I try to stay up to date with that.
Yeah.
But I have learned through this year that using social media differently for the podcast, you just have to do it differently. You can't just promote the podcast the same across every platform, and don't waste your time on platforms that aren't. It's not like working
Yeah,
on. And so
yeah.
Facebook was the one that I gave up on because I'm just like, it's not, no one cares over there, including my mom. So I gave up over there. So like LinkedIn was like really one that for like a second, certain episodes especially, like people on LinkedIn were really becoming really interested. So I was like, okay, let's lean in more heavily toward LinkedIn for a second. We get the most views on YouTube. Don't know why, but we do.
They want to see us.
They want to see
That's,
us,
you know.
as you should. If you're not listening on YouTube right now, we are stunning.
You miss the faux fur
Every now and then we pop
and
in
the
a picture
awkward
of Tim.
facial expressions.
You get to see Tim every now and then.
which everybody loves.
Yeah,
So we parade him out
It's
once in a while
super
to give the
annoying.
people what they want.
but we'll show him more if you keep coming back. Like, I'll find you my favorite photos of him, and I'll just like throw them on the screen. But yeah, so YouTube, Instagram is just kind of like where a lot of our audience is. So we just like throw a reel up there. But the YouTube Shorts, I found when I discovered YouTube Shorts as a connector video, life game changing, because I can just make a clip and attach the full video, and that brings people there. So there's like lots of tricks like that like, again, I learned, and that are good to know. To like, don't waste your time on places where it's not working, because not even your mom cares.
If you can't count on your mom,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you can't really have high expectations after that.
it's true. I love you, Mom. I'm sorry if you are listening, which you're not.
Which she's not, so it's okay. Anything else you want to
This
say
will be
about
the
her?
one episode that she's like, I listen to
Probably.
your podcast.
And guess
I
what?
listen to the one that I'm lighting her up. She's fine. It's fine. I want to go back and just say, I did ask my siblings if it was okay to make those dead dad jokes, because people were like, whoa.
They were getting mad at me because I was the one saying,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
on TikTok.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the dead dad joke was my total doing. I made her do it. So that was
It
on
wasn't
me.
a spontaneous
And I also
script.
I went to okay, if you can't, we have to laugh to keep from crying, right? I cried a lot the past few months, okay? But it was a funny joke, and my dad gave me
Yeah.
permission to make dead dad jokes. I'll come back to that. But I asked my siblings after I made that TikTok, like, are you guys okay if I post this, or is this gonna actually upset you? Because I did not want to
Yeah.
actually do anything to upset them, and they both thought it was funny, or like, do it up. So, but anyway, no, my dad's briefly side point, good story. My dad's mother was horribly abusive and a horrible human, and so our whole lives, his ongoing joke was, my mother used to say that when we'd say whatever, and then he would say, you know what she says now? Nothing, because she's dead. And so that was our whole life. Just like, my mother used to say that, you know what she says now? Nothing, because she's dead. When we would joke about that. And so when he was dying, I was like, can I make that joke about you? When the time's right. Like, you know what he says now?
Yeah.
Nothing, because he's dead. And I'm like, that's going to take me a second to make that joke. But he
Yeah.
was like, dead dad joke it up. Like, it will be a good coping mechanism for
Yeah.
you. So it took me a couple months to make this dead dad joke. But
I was so shocked because this was just some backstory if people haven't seen it. We did this episode for a podcast-a-thon that we were part of.
yes.
And it was sponsoring the American Cancer Society. And we both lost parents to cancer. Like, you lost your dad and I lost my mom. So we were talking about that. And at the end of it, we were saying how we should have like that Sarah McLachlan song, like and
Please go
telling
back and
people,
watch.
please like and subscribe and listen. And I'm like, we're like, that's going to be our outro. Ha ha ha. And so then after that, she's like, oh my God, I have to show you this video of these guys doing karaoke with that Sarah McLachlan Angel song. And we were both dying. And then she's like, we have to use this to promote this episode.
Yeah.
And when she told me what she wanted me to say, including, would you support this
Girl with a
podcast
dead
producer with a dead dad? And I'm like, I can't say that. I cannot. And she's like, my dad would love it. Just do it. It's hilarious. And then, yeah, it went from there. So
People were shocked.
yeah. And then people Kevin was like, Anna Lynn, too soon. And I'm like, it wasn't me.
It was me. Yeah. This was my script, babe. No, she would never.
It was, I think it's one of my favorite things that we've ever done. And that podcast was a definite favorite.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it. And it's not too late to support the American Cancer Society. So, yeah, that was another just quick thing. Like, if you can get involved in anything like a podcast-a-thon, like that really was a nice thing to be a part of.
It's a nice boost, too.
Sig Harvey saw our TikTok. That was so insignificant to everybody else. I put it in the work chat.
We were screaming
about it.
about
in the work chat. And everyone was like, and? I'm like,
first of all,
I'm telling Sig on you guys. None of you cared.
Artistically stunted people.
I'm like, first of all, none of you obviously watched this episode if you don't know who Sig is yet.
Right.
Annoying.
Right.
And I'm like, this is a big deal. Get with it. But I was so excited that she saw
that you featured her photography.
And that she was so touched. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, yes, this is, I did not do that, like, for clout for her.
Right.
It was sincere, but the fact that she saw it and was so touched, like, that meant a lot to me. So tag famous people in your posts because they might see it.
Yeah, if you're talking about it. Like, don't make it cringy. Like, you're not...
I wasn't pandering to her.
You weren't at all. It was genuinely her photography and art helped you through your grief and continue to help you through your grief. So it was a very genuine, real discussion that she had to be a part of because she was part of your grief recovery. And so that's why it worked. But like, don't just name drop so you can hashtag and try to get them to watch your episode because nobody likes that.
Right. Julian Edelman, I thought of you when I was sad. Can I tag you in this now?
Right.
Are you still in Massachusetts? I'm going to start thinking of every hot celebrity.
I can't think of any. Like, what's wrong with me?
Are you not attracted to hot celebrities? Like I'm like, I've got 10 in my brain immediately.
Yeah, I totally drawing a blank.
I am the hot celebrity here. So
it's true. See, I'm just overcome being in your presence that I cannot think beyond your own
people
hotness.
Are tagging me in their podcasts constantly.
Seriously.
I'm just like, guys, I can't respond to every single comment.
I can't like everybody's post.
Occasionally I will just to like make someone happy, but like it's a lot.
Gotta leave some crumbs, you know.
I feel like I wiped all of my makeup. I put on makeup for this and was like, I don't remember. And I was just like, it's where the highlighter I'm using. I went crazy. I always go crazy with it, and people are always like,
you were extra sparkly today.
But it's literally the name of it is literally called Trophy Wife, and I'm like, that is exactly what I am. So obviously, I'm gonna blast it all over my face, and I don't want to ever hear another person tell me to chill with the highlighter. I am the Trophy Wife.
You are C Point's Trophy Wife.
But it's been a long time since I put on my Trophy Wife highlighter, and I did that for you guys.
Looks good.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to wear makeup, otherwise I look dead.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, you've seen me pretty raw, raw face.
Yeah, but that's when you needed an organ to come out of you.
Sick.
So
yeah, you saw me right after my surgery and stuff. And
yeah,
we're friends like that.
Okay.
We want to talk
Next
real.
podcast on location from the emergency room.
Right.
From the operating
Do I have
table.
any, like, gynecological? Yeah, that's the word.
What is the word I couldn't
stumbled
say?
on it.
We need to clue everyone into that word.
Ambiguity is the word you were stumbling with.
How are you saying it?
It was See, I say it wrong now because
I don't even remember. I
ambiguity.
was trying to use it in a sentence so casually. Like that's a word I
She comes out
use.
with ambiguity.
And I was like, ambiguity. How the heck do you? I still to this moment can't. How do you say it?
You have to say the ambiguity. Ambiguity.
Ambiguity.
Good job.
Ambiguity.
You said it.
Ambiguity.
Yes.
Ambiguity? What does that word mean?
It sounds so weird the way you're saying it.
I was using it in a sentence like it was a real word. Or I was trying to. And the more I tried to say it, the more I'm like, this is not a real word.
It's like you're tasting something sour. That's what it sounds like when you say it.
Ambiguity. Ambiguity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
How was I trying to use that? And how did I think that I could? So now that's our like fake word where I'm like, I ambiguity you.
I'm feeling so much ambiguity. And then we were trying to figure
so
out
much ambiguity.
how many different ways to say it wrong.
There's just so I'm like, that is a word that is never gonna sit right in my brain. And the fact that I thought I could drop it into a sentence.
I love that you tried though.
And I like stumbled.
You're a woman of
and
constant growth.
I like stumbled like 3 times and was like, forget this. We were like in a serious conversation too. And I'm like, this is no longer serious because I am stuck.
And then I just never want to say that word right again. And then that made me think of my daughter and how she mispronounced so many words when she was little, and you just don't want to correct them.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to say ambiguity all the time. I'm like, I'm not fixing that.
I was in an aquarium the other day, and this man walked by with his daughters, and he said, and then he's making me say it wrong now. He said anemone like an anemone. And he said it he said it dead serious.
This child is an anemone.
And the person that I was with and I looked at each other and we were like, we can't tell if he's being serious. Because he's saying it to
Was he mansplaining it?
He was saying it to his children. And I'm like, he wasn't joking. He was like, oh, and they're in an anemone. And we're like, an anemone?
Do I speak up or do I let this child
and we
go forth?
We just stared at each other like, maybe it's an inside joke. Maybe it's an inside joke with like a 3-year-old. But we were just like, I can't as an ambiguity person, I cannot critique him.
I love it.
Yeah.
My daughter's big thing, and it was the holdout. It was like the last word that she said wrong. Instead of saying Canadian geese, she'd say Canada geese.
Canada geese.
Canada geese.
That's so cute.
Look, Papa, it's a Canada geese.
It's a Canada geese.
And I'm like, first it's a goose, singular. There's only one. Like, I am terrible.
As the writer
I'm
in
like,
the room.
I know. I'm constantly like editing my child, and she's like, "Shut up, Mom. Just let me speak my speech."
Oh, it's dead.
Oh, dang it.
That's the end. So
We talked too long.
we talked too long. That's the end of this episode.
This is.
I have to dive into your camera.
This has never happened before. Come sit with me.
It probably has.
Sit with me.
It probably has. Okay, well, we'll say goodbye now.
Bye.
Love you so much. Till next time. Happy 1 year.
Yes, happy 1 year. Yay us.
Love you.
Aw.
Wow, we pushed it back. It's the end.
No, it's not. There's more.
There's always more.
Don't be sad. You can catch our full video interviews on our YouTube channel. Come find us.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends so that we're not sad.
And follow us on TikTok.
And Instagram.
It'll make your day happier, promise.
And we'll know if you do. Until next time.